Game's over. Game's over. We got pick up where we left off. Trump and this administration has done it again. Done it again. ABC, they done it again. Hello, French fries, Mike. Back. See how the internet holds up. See how the YouTube goes here. Laughs, how are you? Good to see you, Laughs. Good to see you. Back. A little later. We'll see how everything goes. You know, I want to pick up where we left off on this Minneapolis and Minnesota with Leon Omar and this big $250 million fraud with welfare. You know, it's a big problem there, and she's going to be prosecuted. You know, she should be prosecuted. And by the way, she came to the United States because she married her brother to get here. But most important, I can't believe where we left off with these Democrats, you know, where, you know, it took Trump less than a year to capture this 30-year-old African-American man who literally what's coming out now is he confessed. He confessed that he did it, right? He hasn't discussed why. He just confessed that he did it. Well, we all know why he did it, right? Because his, his team, the Democrats, got beat. And, you know, he was pissed off. And he thought he was going to get away with it. You know, this cold case. They think they always get caught. But why did they get caught with the Democrat administration and this committee? That's the question I have. And we were discussing that earlier. I have no idea why they didn't follow up with this because, you know, he did attack the Republican facility, headquarters, and the Democrat. And it aggravates me that, you know, they, again, let him, you know, the administration had to come in and take it down. You know, the DOJ and, once again, Kash Patel taking down the bad guys. And if it wasn't for Trump and administration, who knows how many more bad guys we have out there. But once again, Trump did it again. He continues to play chess, and his team and the DOJ working hard to keep America safe again. And I got to tell you, it's just another loss for the Democrat. It really is. What was the motive behind it? He has confessed. He's confessed. He confessed the planning of the bombs. They never went off, but he now said he did it, and he will never get out. This is another act of terrorism, you know, on our own homegrown here. And it's a shame, it really is, that we have to go through this, you know, where we had the weakest administration ever who doesn't give a shit about American people, you know. And once again, we were discussing this. Hello, I'm Sal. Welcome in. The administration, in my opinion, knew exactly where this guy was. Okay, there's no way in hell that they didn't know where this guy was, and they kept it quiet. They figured that, you know, first of all, they didn't think Trump was going to win, right? Twice, you know, should have won 3 times, and once again, they figured, we'll forget about it. You know, people, those who forget about it, there'll be no clues. But yes, he's confessed, and you know, CNN, fake news, and the Democrat Party, once again, you'd think they would come out once again and say, good job. We're glad we got the bad guys. But no, they're going to turn it around. You think, how can they turn this around? And they're going to turn it around once again. Well, do we really have the right guy? Calling him Caucasian, you know, and this, that, whatever. It's just horrible. Can't they just ever come out and they just continue to beat up their party and continue to lose? And that's great. Because you know why? It's not about the Republicans staying in charge in midterms and the presidency. It's about saving America. I continue to say, if you're new to this channel, we got to save our planet. And once again, Donald Trump and the team behind him, love or hate him, has done it. And I've called out Kash Patel. I called out Pam Bondi. And I certainly called out Dan Bongino, but they did it. And for me, yes or no in the chat, do you think Pam Bondi, Dan Bongino, and Kash Patel made up for some of the fumbles they did with the Epstein files? I mean, there was a few fumbles, right? Do you think, yes or no, they made up for this? Yes or no? I think they made up for it. I think this was a job well done. I think they were working on this for a while. I think, again, They got the facts together, knew exactly where he was in the suburbs. And by the way, like I said earlier, his family ran. I'll read some comments real quick. Again, yeah, Jake Tapper out of CNN. Once again, if you missed it live earlier, coming out yesterday and saying a Caucasian man, clearly he knew he was an African American. But again, if you're new to the channel, they're so hypnotized on just calling out Caucasians. To make it clear, once again, it's not about whites or blacks, but that's what they do, the Democrats, right? And this Leon Omar, she's also saying all Trump supporters and MAGA are all bad guys and women, right? We're all bad. We're all evil. We attack. But simply, no, we don't. You don't see anybody from MAGA out there doing this kind of stuff, right? And I'm not saying they're all perfect, but once again, the Democrats continue to point fingers, and fake news outlets and CNN and CNBC and The View continue to call out Trump administration. I don't understand how in the world they can't say good job and then continue on helping America out, right? Working on and debating on how to go better or different ideas what Trump has going forward. I just don't get. Game's over. Game's over. It just shows you again, Ardell, how are you? Again, as the Republicans and the conservatives and making America common sense and beautiful again and great again is going to continue to win, because people are not going to forget. They might say, well, Trump has cussed, Trump has called garbage, this, that, whatever. But at the end of the day, keeping America safe, homegrown safe, domestic terrorism safe, ending 8 wars, so on and so forth, closing the borders, a better economy that still needs to improve. When people go to vote in midterms and people go to vote in 2028, they're going to say, even the Democrats, the moderates, are going to say, we trust this system. This system is the American way, right? The radical left is not for the American people, and simply they're not for anybody at all. So once again, I'm gonna read something here. It was a family-owned immigration bail bond. This is what this family had. Brian Cole Jr., 30-year-old young black man, who family owns a immigration bail bond. And you tell me they own that bail bond is why the Democrats, in my opinion, slammed the brakes on, whoa, and knew if they captured him, it would just blow up in their face. Well, guess what? It took a little time, right? And it blew up once again in the Democrats' face once again. And what is Gavin Newsom, AOC, and all the rest of these pieces of shit doing? Absolutely nothing. They keep on saying, well, we need to work on our health care. 42 days they had to modify their program to make it correct with all the tax credits. It's all bullshit. They make like they come on with this health care. Oh, it's destroying it. We want Medicaid for all. And they don't have a system. Chuck Schumer, well, there's people laying in a hospital bed. They got to worry about the bills. But they have not worked on a better situation. They continue to fail. They failed on this. Again, the pipe bomb suspect has confessed. This is coming out of NBC, ABC. Listen here what they say.
And he's told FBI agents that he is a supporter of Donald Trump. But they've also gathered evidence that he has anarchist leanings. And so what they're saying
he's a supporter of Donald Trump.
The motive here, the drivers of this act are not entirely clear. And they're expressing caution about drawing any conclusions about any of this information. They say that they have assessed.
Now this man here, all right, is African American to me, right? He's black. He's not white. Not to say white people or Italians or other types of people do these crimes. All types of people have these crazy mental illness and political craziness going on in their head. And these radical left governors don't help it, right? But clearly, Jake Tapper at the CNN clearly misidentified him as a Caucasian. Now you go right here To me, he's black. He's a black man who did this. Now, they're saying here on this news outlet that he was a Trump supporter. He was a Trump supporter. Okay. Yes or no? Think this guy was a Trump supporter?
He has antisocial tendencies. Remember, he lived alone with his parents.
This is the house.
Have described him as quiet and shy.
Quiet and shy
remains unclear. But the key thing is that he's confessed.
They're always quiet and shy. So this is according to the neighborhood. Suburbs, nice house. Once again, his family own an immigration bail bond. In other words, a bail bond to let out the illegals who did crime. And the Democrats, the Republicans were able to get capture of his sneakers and do all the work in just a few months. And the Democrats had how many years? 1, 2, 3, 4 years, and did absolutely nothing to get, once again, a pipe bomb who planted these bombs in the Republican and Democrat headquarters.
Appear to have solved this case after 5 long years of trying to gather evidence.
5 years.
So, Tom, your reaction to this new reporting, an apparent confession?
I'm not surprised. When you look at the affidavit that was filed in court yesterday, they had an overwhelming amount of evidence that linked this individual to this crime. Not only his purchasing history, but they had his phone
sneakers
on cell towers
phones
in that area during that time. And then the icing on the...
Or think about this, guys. They had the phone. You mean to tell me that Biden administration could not have done this and tracked his phones and his clothing and tracking where he was going, coming and going? They had 5 years. 5 years to capture this man.
Cake was they had a license plate reader that came off
this
of
man here.
One of the interstates that comes right up to the Capitol, and had his license plate passing through that license plate reader on that day as well. So when typically when you're going to interview a suspect in a case, you'll present some of the evidence, not all of it, but some of the evidence that you have, which oftentimes makes them think that got me, I might as well confess. So,
ladies and gentlemen, this wasn't a man who robbed Starbucks, right? This wasn't a man who took a candy bar out of a 7-Eleven. This was a man who planted pipe bomb. And a lot of people, I talked about this earlier, forgot about this whole story, right? With the Epstein case, and which was important, but everybody fell asleep on it. But not Donald Trump, Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, and Dan Bongino, and Judge Jeanine. They didn't forget. Why? Because they care. So it's not about Republicans versus this radical left. It's not a moderate Democrat. They care about keeping America safe. Sneakers, cell phone towers. Come on. Ladies and gentlemen, we need to wake up. This cannot continue, and this is why we got to continue with the conservative Trump's team for a very long time. Not to say that Trump is perfect or the Republicans are perfect. They make errors, but not this kind of stuff. They care truly about America. It's a shame. It really is a shame. Pipe bomb suspect confessed, planting bombs near the Capitol. And Trump is pissed. Trump is pissed. But just another win, not for Trump, but for the American people. That's what it comes down to. Oh, well, it's just Trump, his ego. No. It's protecting American soil. We can't have these attacks like on the National Guards, one losing their life, one critical. We can't continue having the illegal people coming over here and our own people here. And a lot of these problems occur because of these radical left governors, senators, who are not standing up and encourage these protests and not wanting ICE and saying ICE is evil and MAGA is evil, right? And Trump is a dictator. But at the end of the day, when you put your head on that bed before you go to sleep, we know this, that Trump's team is continuing keeping us safe and going forward in a correct, common sense way, like it always was. Even under some Democrat presidents. Once again, if you're new, that administration was just, I don't even have the words. What's the words about that last administration? You know, some would say terrible is not good. It's just so upside down. They were so upside down. Just like Lennar Omar out of Minnesota. Horrible. The police, the mayor, the governor, all of them. And the fraud that some of these Democrat-run states are doing. And backing up and encouraging these kind of activities to happen. That's what they want. And then it just rubs off. But you know what? At the end of the day, it's a shame. It really is. It really is a shame. And that's why Trump keeps winning. All right, read some comments. Frank, how are you? Good to see you. It is really terrible, though, because, you know, a lot of people are like, well, that's good. We just get rid of the Democrats. It's not. It's more than that. It's crazy on how they turn their back on us. You know, we're going to have Democrat presidents again in the next who knows when. And hopefully we'll never see anything like this under any president, Republican or Democrat, to just turn their backs and go to sleep. They went to sleep with Biden. The whole committee and Autopen all went to sleep purposely. Thank you for coming in, liking, subscribing. I appreciate it. If you're new to the channel, we appreciate it. Let us know if you're new. If you can do me a big favor and hit the like button, I appreciate it. Read some comments that make sense. Be free to disagree, but on this, there's nothing to disagree. It was a simple, cold case that should have never went cold, right? Should have never went cold. And it took common sense and a great cabinet, DOJ, once again, to fight for us. I don't know how anybody can disagree on this one. All right. Buy the Trump coin. Buy silver. Buy silver. So much fraud and corruption under that administration, you know, and they want to continue it. You know, they're trying their best. You know, they didn't expect Trump to win. It comes down to that, ladies and gentlemen. They did not. Uncle Charlie, no Christmas lights, Uncle Charlie. I forgot. You won. They continue to they didn't expect Trump to win. Got to get him up. Got to get him up tomorrow. I have an event tomorrow night, but I got to get him up tomorrow, Uncle Charlie. Got to get him up. Got to get my lazy ass and into the garage and get those lights up behind us. Put them right around that beautiful flag. Put them back right. We got to continue to fight with common sense, you know. And this was just a terrible situation. As if you're just coming in, the pipe bomb. He confessed. This creep, 30-year-old Brian Cole Jr. Family living in a nice house in the suburbs. Family ties, owning an immigration bail bond. And it all makes sense. All makes sense. Thank you, Uncle Charlie, for the happy poop. Forget about it. Thank you. All right. Yeah, well, you're referring to 30-year-old white guy. Yeah, Jake Tapper. What a piece of shit. He knew that he was African American. You know, he didn't make a mistake. He's hypnotized on, you know, calling out the white Caucasian. White Caucasian. This is not about black or white, but that's what CNN is taught. He didn't make a mistake. If he made a mistake, Jake Tapper out of CNN, he would have said, "Oh, sorry, I apologize. African American, black man, whatever." He would have described. There was no mistake. They're taught to say that, you know. And again, next will be Putin will be a white Caucasian. That's what they do. They're sick. These Democrats are nuts. They're crazy. You know, it's not like it used to be. There is no party anymore. The Democrat Party it fell apart until somebody on that side has enough balls to stand up and say, well, we're going to fix it. We're not going to agree with Trump or agree everything to Republicans, but we're going to work together and come up with solutions to make America safe. And guess what? Then maybe they'll get some votes. Otherwise, they're going to continue to lose and lose on a knockout in the first round. Landslide, knockout. 50-year mortgage it's crazy. Don't do it. That's insane. Disagree? Yes. By the way, in March, it's going to be amazing. Inflation will get down to 3 to 4%, I predict. We have not seen the best, okay? You got to remember, President Trump hasn't even been there a year yet. And look what he's doing. You know, I talked about this. He went to Iran. They didn't even know what happened. Took out the nukes, closed the border, reverse order, right? Think about it. Brought the prices of gasoline down, eggs down, corruption down, National Guards to make the cities and states safer. Democrats don't like that either, right? They can't see bringing in the National Guards for a short period of time to make the city and states a little bit safer. It's not going to be perfect. We get it. And they're against that too. I just said 50-year mortgage. I don't agree on everything. Trump's not perfect. I've called him out if you're new to this channel. But you got to ask yourself this. Trump, what you see, what you get, fighting and trying every time, or administration that didn't even know what year it was. Their agenda is free. That will bankrupt us all. Not right away, over time. Letting over illegals. They don't care about them. Setting up votes and green cards. That's what that administration is for. This is not the Bill Clinton years. It's finished. And it will continue to be finished until somebody steps up and breaks the party apart, Ken Big Fishin. Welcome back. Thank you. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your membership. Appreciate you. Here's what I say about that one comment. Great nicotine. Welcome in, Stan. Trump, worst president ever. You know, you could say what you want about Donald Trump, the worst president. We heard it all. We know it all. But at the end of the day, behind closed doors, you know and I know that the man is the last person to go to sleep, first person to get up fighting for America. Yeah, Nevada gas still got. That's a whole nother story. We got to get the reason gas is not. It should go down even more. You know, in Nevada, but the problem is Gavin Newsom had another corruption piece of shit. You know, he can easily open refine. That's a whole that. Even Stephen A. Smith, who's a Democrat, sounds like a Republican, out of ESPN, has said 0% chance. Gavin Newsom has he doesn't, he's so unorganized. He's another one who hates America. And the reason they hate it is because they want to cheat. They want their agenda. I said this before. The one thing that the Democrats do right is they stick together. But it's hurting them now. See? It's actually hurting them in so many ways. Welcome in on this Friday. Hope everybody's enjoying their Friday. Those who are off, enjoying their weekend. Can you believe we just went through Thanksgiving and Christmas is upon us? You see how fast the years goes? Huh? And once again, Trump has continued to work. He knows that. He knows that. Enjoying a cigar with the legend. Thank you. I got to buy some more. I think I got 2 left. Trump is absolutely awesome. He really is. He's not perfect, you know. I only know one person is perfect. That's Jesus. But he's pretty close. He's pretty damn close. Imagine this, though. He goes to the headquarters of the Democrat and Republican, right? This is how much they don't care. And by the way, my sources told me that Kamala wasn't too far away. This is how much they care. You would think, right? If they didn't know the situation, they would have captured this guy the day after, week after, certainly 6 months after, with this pipe bomber. And they did absolutely nothing. You know, they did something. Sorry. They did do something. They got involved in a war with Russia and Ukraine. That's what they did. Oh, they did something else. Yeah, they opened up the borders, open sesame. Forgot they did that. They did 2 things. Oh, they did a 3rd thing. They ruined this economy. Oh, it was COVID. COVID came and went. COVID, that's why it's bad. And every time President Biden would come on and pass gas and didn't know who his sister and wife was and worry about the State of the Union potato chips being short, each and every day they had to put the team together like Donald Trump did and capture this piece of shit. And they did nothing but start wars and open borders. Let's be honest. He absolutely did, Joe Biden, pardon the killer. That's what they did. And that's what they'll continue to do. If, God forbid, they win midterms or the 28th, they won't win. I'm not saying 'cause I'm confident. The facts are out there. If they had any chance to win the midterms, they just lost on this. When I say this, for those who are coming in, what you're talking about, this pipe bomber here. They had any chance to redeem themselves. Even if they didn't do it, they could acknowledge, we appreciate you, President Trump. Oh, we disagree on everything else, but we thank you for getting this piece of shit off the streets who thought he was going to get away with it. But they didn't do that, did they? I haven't heard one Democrat, not one, come out on the news outlets, on CNN, fake news, or any other news outlets and say, you know what? That's good. Just like taking out the nukes in Iran. Nothing good. Oh, well, they didn't get it all. At first, remember that in Iran? Oh, we're not sure. It's all blown up. And they have to explain it. You know? When's the 2000? It's coming. It's in the oven. It's in the mail. It'll be there. Trump says promise. He used the words promise. Now, don't go out and spend it and take out a loan. But it will happen. Why? Because he's doing the right thing with terrorists. Right? No other presidents. They talked about it. If you're new to the channel, Nancy Pelosi talked about it. Hillary Clinton talked about it. Bill Clinton talked about it. Even piece of shit George Bush talked about it. All of them talked about terrorists. They're all scared about their legacy. They're all scared what can happen instead of going for it because the old way is certainly not working. Before Christmas, middle of next year. I was hoping this year, but yeah, I mean, I think we will get it. I don't know who's going to get it and where they're going to put the cap on the 2,000, 100,000, 150,000. I personally think it'll treat it like the COVID, threshold 150. All right, see what else we got in the chat room tonight. Thank you for being here, guys. Appreciate you.
I think that when presented with all of this, my guess is he knew that he was caught.
Mark, Brian Cole Jr. is going to be in federal court this afternoon. What are we expecting?
Well, cameras are not allowed in federal court, but we'll have a team inside. They're going to give us the step-by-step. Cole Jr. will face a judge. There's going to be a formal reading of the charges. An attorney will be assigned to him if he needs an attorney. He's also going to face those charges of leaving the pipe bombs outside the RNC DNC on January 5th, 2021. It's expected, Anna, this will be a quick proceeding. The judge will then decide, does he set bail or will he be remanded into custody?
Bail.
We'll find out in just a few hours.
Ken, do we have any idea about the motive at this point based on the interviews that investigators are doing with this suspect?
No, and they've expressed caution to us about that you really can't draw any conclusions at this point. One person familiar with the matter told us, we just don't know what the driver.
All right. Motive? We all know what the motive was. What was the motive in the chat? Anybody? We all know what the motive was. I know. Trump won. That was the motive. Trump won. Another sicko. Whatever you want to call him. That's it. Won't they just say it? People say, oh, you have Fox on. It's not Fox. It's CNBC or some fake news. Motive. Trump won. That was the motive. He was pissed. And his family, once again, if you're coming in late, I quote, family owned immigration bail bond. What else I have to say? Bail? What bail? He should never see daylight. Imagine if those bombs went off. Think about it. Should Trump pardon Diddy? Absolutely not. Another sicko. Another crazy one. We got to stop that too. Sex trafficking. All right, what else we got in here? I don't like pardons at all on either side, by the way. That's just me. All right, what we got over here? Mega will never win or never learn. Excuse me. Appreciate you guys being here tonight. Be free to disagree or agree. But on this topic here, I don't see how anybody can disagree unless you're just, trolling around and pissed off at Trump. This was a win for everybody to get this guy off. If this guy would have got away with it another 2 years, 3 years, he would have tried it again. He would have tried something different. Yes or no? I voted for him 3 times too, Summer. 619, thanks for being here. Absolutely. I'd vote for him a 4th time and a 5th time and a 6th time. I'd vote for anybody. I would vote for Nikki Haley, and I don't really like her over this radical nonsense that's happening, What's going on, Anthony? 6 times somebody voted, yeah. Trump's FBI are fools. What's going on, Cooper? Good to see you, my friend. Hope everything's well in your life. Let's see here. Donald, I will never vote Democrat again. Be careful, Donald. I don't think I could either. At least not in the next 20 years. They'll change. Because you need competition. But it'll be a while. It'll be a while. You got to have I say this all the time if you're new to the channel. It's good to have competition, right? You can't just have one party. But right now, it's all it is one party. It's an American party. It's common sense. And I get young people, out there, voting for this crazy mayor, Madani. At least he went to the White House and, according to Trump, they have some right thoughts, is opposite. But, I don't understand how anybody over 35, or let's put it this way, anybody's a hard worker. Don't matter if you're middle class or upper middle class or millionaire, but how the hell can you support this agenda that they want? And I don't understand why people think the word free is good, it's good for certain people, it's, temporary, like Medicaid, food stamps. Sure, you have to have the assistance. I'm not saying you don't, but it's not long term unless you're disabled or you're 65 and you have Medicare and Medicaid rider because of your Social Security. I get that. I'm not saying to get rid of it, but to go free. I said this before. They want to. Madani wants to have free buses. Who the hell's going to drive buses for free? Who's going to pay for it? I can tell you. Small business, pizzeria in New York, right? I'm referring to. What's going to happen after 6 months of them paying for it? Their tax. They go bankrupt. It doesn't work. Free hospitals, free this, free that. Build homes for free. I don't know where the hell they're going to build them all, and who the hell's going to build them for free? I said this before, maybe one home for free. Who the hell's going to volunteer to build homes year after year after year for free? Nobody. No Democrat or Republican or independent, black, white, straight, gay is going to do that work for free. Who the hell's going to do it? It doesn't work. Trump 2030. I always say just keep the Trump name there somewhere, Marco Rubio / Trump, J.D. Vance / Trump, Bongino / Trump. Just a few names have a possible run for it that I like. I got to say, I was upset at Bongino. I got upset with him a little bit for not going to work on that Friday, doing the Epstein fumble there. But, he redeemed himself. He showed character to me. Working hard and capturing this guy. And a lot of people say I look like Jeffrey Epstein. But I can tell you I'm not. Man, that piece of shit. And Maxwell, another piece of shit. Diddy, all those people with young ladies and young men. Horrible. And Diddy's situation. Vance and Trump. Possibility. Trump acts like a 49-year-old. He has plenty of energy. Say what you want about Trump, whether you dislike him. I'm not here to persuade you one way or another. But he has plenty of energy, something we haven't seen in a while. We didn't see the energy with Barack Obama. Well, we did. All lies. And once again, if you're tuning in, Barack Obama is the second worst president, and he started this whole, radical left Obamacare. I had it. It doesn't work. He started all this. Immigration. This is nice hair. You can mess it up. Thank you so much for being here on this later Friday in the East Coast. Not too late in the West Coast. Thank you, moderators, for being here. JD and Rubio. I like that a lot. I would switch it, though, because I like Marco Rubio. I would go Rubio JD right now. I can change it, but yeah, either way, either one. Both are very confident, Let's make it clear. They're not Donald Trump, but they're very confident. They're working hard. They love America. They love common sense. They love closed borders. They don't like creating wars. They negotiate. But either one of them, or both of them, president and vice president. I like that. Vance and Ivanka. Yeah, I hear her name floating around. She's smart. She cares, Not perfect. I like her. Judge Deneen. She's getting up there, though. She's a great judge, though. She's a badass. Did you see him on there? Judge Deneen, Dan Bongino, Cash Patel. They care. Are they perfect? No. They care. They want to help keep America safe. I love them all. Pam Bondi, I don't know yet, you know? I mean, she was part of this on getting this piece of shit off the streets, but I'm hesitating on her a little bit. Oh, that's funny. Star Trek, yeah. That's funny. That's funny. Lee Buddy, 7146. Kind of funny. Eric Trump has gotten 10 times. Yeah, you said that about 3-4 times. You know, when I see, you know, I'll give you 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. We get it. We get it. We get it. You're fired. Get the hell out of here. I'm only kidding. We get it. I see it. Yeah. You have to say it once. Maybe you misprint twice, but 3, 4, 5 times. We get it. Bondi is lucky still. Yeah, I think so. I would have fired her, Travis. That's me, you know. But, you know, I don't know. Maybe Trump knew this was going to happen, you know. Because they don't tell us everything. They can't tell us everything. But, yeah, I don't particularly care for her, you know. She's... For me, she's not real sure of herself. I mean, she's a lot better than the radical shit, right? Radical left shit. But, yeah, I probably would have fired her, too. But who knows? Don't you love living in America when we have a leader, not a follower, a great president, Donald Trump, and J.D. Vance, and Marco Rubio, and the rest of them? Taking charge, not perfect, organizing things, playing chess, 4 or 5 pieces ahead, you know? A Peyton Manning in football, checking off 1 receiver, 2, 3. Or do you want somebody who's sitting on their ass, worrying about potato chips in the State of the Union, falling asleep, farting, falling, biting over and over? Whiskey Tango, welcome back. Yeah, the first live, the internet was on and off. So I said, let's continue. When I say I'll be back, I try to keep my word and come back. Epstein, won't see him no more. Won't see him no more. Oh, is that me? Yeah. A great day, great week, you know. Once again, capturing this man who Jake Tapper out of CNN says he was a Caucasian. Wrong. He wasn't Caucasian. Once again, Jake Tapper, a robot, you know. What another piece of shit. How the hell can anybody even watch CNN anymore? Remember when CNN was okay, you know, like 30 years ago? What happened? What happened to CNN? That's a real good cigar. Too bad it's almost done. Let's see what we got over here. Now, if you're new to the channel, I appreciate you. Make sure you show some love to your other YouTube channels. Hit the like and subscribe. Fox host went on Newsmax and accused Hessek of war crimes. Thoughts? There's no war crime there. End of conversation. Dizzy, what's happening, Dizzy? There's no war crime. He did his job, too. He has a chance to be president, too. Forgot about him. He did his job. Took the boat out. This wasn't a boat. This wasn't they weren't fishing. They weren't going on a cruise. This was poison coming in America. I have no problem. You know. He did the right thing. Took him out. Take the boats out. You know. Welcome in, LGBT for Trump 24. Appreciate you being here on this late night, depending where you're at. On a Friday. Might be early in other parts of the world. Or early the next day. Dizzy Camacho. Camacho. Ecuador. Not bad. Top 10 list. No war, no crime. High five. Fist bump. Twice. Twice. Great cigar. Had a couple bad ones, like anything, Dizzy, but this one's pretty good. 12 p.m. in Pennsylvania. Any snow in Pennsylvania? What's going on, Will? Where are you guys coming in at on this Friday? What's going on? Christmas shopping? Black Friday, that might be over too. You know? Everybody's buying online. Malls are closing down. What the hell's going on? I agree with your YouTube name. God is the boss. Good name. Appreciate you guys being here on this Friday. Once again, the breaking news pipe bomb suspect confessed. He confessed. He's done. He's guilty. And of course, on the left, they're going to say, oh, but he supported Trump. Get the hell out of here. Let me read this again for those coming in late. The family owned an immigration bail bond. Okay? This man was unhappy because of what Trump closing the borders. You know, they knew that when Trump won, and this is why this person did this. Over. And they're talking about bail. What bail? He's captured, which the Democrats had 4 years, 5 years to do. Yep. Who the hell knows? Joe Biden had no clue what the hell was going on. Listen, my sources are Elizabeth Warren, Pocahontas, and Joe Biden, and Hunter Biden, and Barack Obama, and Pete Buttigieg. Those 4 or 5 were running this nation. Think about the names I just said. Elizabeth Warren, Pete Buttigieg, Barack Obama, Nancy Pelosi had her hands on it. They were running this country. Biden ran it for 6 months when he had a little bit of his mind gone. And I wish him well with his sickness. I really do. He had no clue what the hell was going on. They had a clue when they were pardoning. They started to do the pardons. They had a clue what the hell was going on, right? Let's see here. The pipe bomb was a conspiracy to hurt Trump. Absolutely. Absolutely. You know? 100%. All right. Let's get rid of this here. All right. Some people want to put stuff in 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times. I have no problem with people disagreeing, but Jesus. Like, get a life. Appreciate everybody being here tonight. What's your thoughts? Do you think the Democrats, A, were just too stupid? Their FBI, who should be prosecuted, to organize and capture this man, right? This Brian Cole Jr., 30-year-old black man? Or did they just cover it up, thinking that we would forget? That's B. What do you think? A or B? Or both? There's a saying. Either you're stupid or you're in on it. Either way, you got to go. Either you were too stupid, too lazy, or you're in on it. I say all 3, you got to go. And they went. They lost on a knockout. Trump knocked Kamala out. Why? Because Democrats, Republicans, American people, enough's enough. Even those who don't really like Trump said enough's enough. And that's where we're at. And that's that. That's that. There's no damn UFOs. You know, Kevin, I know what you're... I watched a little of that Netflix with Marco. I'll come with UFOs. Everybody sees the light. Everybody sees it from a distance. But they never brought back an arm, a finger, of anything. Right? So for me, nothing. Until I see them take a hand or some kind of part, you know, nothing. You know, these pilots, they think they see things. I don't know what the hell they're... No defense to pilots, some of them. What the hell are they seeing in the sky? They ain't seeing shit in Italian Ungats. There's nothing out there. in my opinion. Nothing. What's going on, everybody? Baker Gang, what's happening? UFOs. By the way, if you're new to the channel, we help out the homeless on here. Just want to throw that out there. We have plenty of shorts. We don't ask them if they're a Republican. We don't ask them if they're a Democrat or independent or gay or straight. Actually, I don't even ask them if they're illegal. If somebody's starving, we help them out. We try to give them some food because that's American way. It's not a Republican way. It's not a Democrat way. It's about being an American and helping out your fellow neighbors. And we got to work on mental illness. So, yeah. Yes or no? We have UFOs out there? I say no, but who knows? I thought I'd see one day. I did. We could talk about it. But it wasn't. Somebody said no. I did. I was up in the mountains. I was drinking. I was smoking cigars. I seen these lights on a highway. I forgot the highway was up there and the lights were blinking. I was convinced until I drove the next day and seen that was a road and it was a police officer pulling somebody over. You know? But who knows? Do you like that, Chris? Chris G6066? Do you like that? I have a friend who loves those cigars. Whatever you like, you know? Whether it's cigars, whatever you love. In moderation, like everybody. You know, moderation. Enjoy it. Enjoy what you gotta enjoy yourself. Life is so quick. Do you like it? You love it. Whatever you enjoy, you know? I tell you what I don't enjoy. I don't enjoy administration run by a committee, you know, letting all these illegals and not doing your homework and capturing. Look, I'm not saying they should have captured in 1 week or even 1 month, but they had 4 damn years to do the same thing. There was no special clues on this pipe bomber if they're just coming in. There was nothing came out new. They made it clear. This was all out there. And it took a Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, Judge Janine, Bongino, did I say Bongino? Those 4, and Trump, of course, and JD, and the rest, right? It's all it took, less than a year. They worked on this. And the previous administration had plenty of time to capture this man. They said he was a Caucasian woman at first. Then they said he was an Asian. He was this, he was that, she was this, it was a she. They had no clue. They knew. Ladies and gentlemen, if you think they just didn't know, they knew. But they knew, they thought, that's how stupid they are. Well, first of all, they're worried about Obama tax credits and open borders, so you can't help them. They'll overlook it. They thought that this would go to sleep. A cold case like this wasn't a 7-Eleven robbery. Don't go out and rob 7-Eleven. This wasn't a petty theft. This was somebody putting pipe bombs in the headquarters of the Republican and Democrat headquarters that could have took out a Democrat Republican leaders. And we don't tolerate that on this channel. Not even Josh Shapiro when he went in his house. I don't support him one bit. But we don't support that kind of nonsense, whether you're a Republican or a Democrat. Do your job. Like somebody said earlier, put the politics aside, just like that sheriff in Minnesota. He should bury his badge, who says, I'm all for Omar. I'm all for, we need not to have National Guards. All fraud there. He should be embarrassed to be in law enforcement. You got to put the politics aside. You don't have to support Trump, but you better support your city and state and yourself and that badge. Backwards. You better support that. You know? You don't have to support Trump or vote for him, but you better do your job. Put the politics aside and do your job. That's on both sides, by the way. That's on both sides. It's time to put it aside and love America, love this flag, and love common sense. And that's what this administration has woken us up, because we lost it. Under the previous administration, under Barack Obama, we lost it. Bush was a bad president, very bad. I voted for him, but we didn't lose touch of American way. He just wasn't a good president. Not the worst. And that's not happening right now with the Democrats. Not right now. They're stupid and don't care. That's it. That's the words. And cheat and fraud. Lots of fraud. I found Luigi in my nose. What's going on, Fish Scale 69? I'm enjoying life. I hope you are too. But funny. Captured. Confessed. Got him. Got this guy. Pipe bomb. They thought we all forgot. How many people? I asked this on the last live stream. I'm going to ask it again. Be honest. How many people actually forgot about this? The pipe bomber in the headquarters on January 6th, 2020. How many people honestly forgot about this? Seriously, did you forget about this? How many? How many forgot about this? Thank God those pipe bombs never went off. Thank goodness. Imagine. I would ask the jury, what happened if they went off, you know? Kind of funny there, Chuck. I appreciate you guys being here tonight. But you know what? All joking aside, say what you want. If this was Republicans, switch sides, and they did, let's just say the Democrats did a lot of good stuff. They didn't. Everything was bad, right? Now, one thing, can you name one thing that Biden did good? Well, let's just say turn the tables, it was a Republican. And they did a few things good, but they didn't capture this guy. I couldn't vote for that party. It would take me a while. This is serious. What should we do about Venezuela? Listen. Maduro is a ringleader. Got to take him out, right? They're good people, Venezuela. Hard working, but if that continues, poison coming to the United States, going in through Europe, can't have it, you know? Can't have it. But once again, the Democrats say, oh, it's okay. There's no proof. It was a sailboat. They were fishing. What the hell were they fishing? They weren't fishing. They were bringing narcotics over to kill and eliminate American people. Your husband, your wife, your children. That's what they were doing. You know, working with Iran, Colombia. They're all, and once again, no president, very few have put their foot down to stop that. Very few. Very few presidents, most of them ignore that, even the Republican. That's why Trump's not really, he's American president. He just got the R there. Tracer, how are you? For me, I don't think we're going to see anybody like a Donald Trump. I could be wrong, but I doubt it. We got our own oil right here. We got oil right here in the States. Just drill, 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 baby. We got it right here. We don't need anybody. We got to stop the drugs. And we can't eliminate it all. Most of us know that, right? But we got to eliminate all of this. This fentanyl, all this stuff. It's bad. Big profit in that, and we got to stop it and eliminate it. Drug trafficking, sex trafficking, we got to put a huge dent into it. We really do need to cure that, along with mental illness. So much stuff needs to be done. And once again, Trump is moving as fast as he can. Submarine fishing boats. Yeah. That's kind of funny there. It is funny. I'm reading one comment here. Can't eliminate it all. Uh, funny comments. No, we can't. We can't have these bad drugs, these horrible drugs that are coming over. It's got to be eliminated. It's a big racketeer. And once again, thank God we have Donald Trump and a great team. 90% of them are great people working for Trump. 90%, 95. Control oil, you control the world. Yeah, that's a high five fist bump. We seen what Trump did, right? As soon as he got into office, oil started going down. It's still not down where but it's a hell of a lot better. That all controls why we were in this terrible inflation. And really, we're still not out of the woods yet. People are blaming Trump. Look how much Trump has done. Wait till next March. It's going to be amazing. Before that, again, I believe, my opinion, I can be wrong. 20 years from now, there'll be Netflix movies. If there's Netflix, kids will be born tomorrow. Who was that guy? Who was that president? Well, he was a leader. The parents will tell their kids, he was a leader. He'll be up there with the Abraham Lincolns and George Washington, Eisenhower, and a few others, Ronald Reagan. Damn right they got to be open, pipelines. Never. I mean, come on. Nonsense. All this climate change shit. Oh, it's cold right now in Vegas. It's winter. It's almost cold everywhere but Puerto Rico and Florida. Climate change. Oh, it's snowstorm every 10 years. Yeah, it happens. Ice is melting. But it's all bullshit. Al Gore bullshit. Brainwashing. Al Gore, remember him? Another piece of shit. Forget about Al Gore. Climate change. What climate change? Weather changes. Periodically. It's a pattern. Windmills. Killing birds. Does absolutely nothing. Just like the Obamacare. Did nothing to help Americans. Excuse me. I disagree with you, Curtis, but thank you for your comment. He did. I don't know. He stepped up 2 weeks ago. He acknowledged that we got to get beef down. We got to do more. Think about it. We're not where we're at. Most presidents will lie. I mean, he's not perfect, Curtis. He's not at all. I know one person perfect. That's Jesus. But he acknowledged. Did you ever hear Barack Obama come out? Everything was fine. It's always fine. Notice I said Barack Obama. I say Biden. Both. He acknowledged we got to do more. Got to get beef down. And that's not, part of that's because of Biden. The other part was there was more to it. And China, a lot of shit going on. So he acknowledges what we got to do more. He speaks more than any other president. He might not always say the right word. I like what he says when he calls, trash. And I like him. I like his language. A lot of people, I don't like his language. You don't know, if you don't know, that's who he is. He's an American. He's us. He's a Democrat, Republican. He's one of us. When are people going to wake up and realize he's one of us, who just got a lot of money that he worked hard for, who's not perfect. But yeah, he's acknowledged that we got to do more, and the economy's not, we got to work on the groceries, and period. Terrorists are working. Not enough to eliminate income tax by far. That's lies, I'll be honest. But they are working. They're working so much that he's talking about helping out the American people and giving out a couple $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 stimulus. Or it's not stimulus, but rebate. What the hell's wrong with this cigar or lighter? Where the hell is this lighter made? China. What the hell you want? Got to make our products here. Got to make our goods here in the United States. Ripped off for how many years? 40, 50, 60 years? Let's make everything here. The cell phone that we're doing a live here. Bring it down to a reasonable price. Everything should be made here. Well, not everything, but a lot of things need to be made here in the United States. You've got a long way to go to eliminate income tax. That I'll say. That's a fact. But it is working. Nothing else is working. The other way never worked. We know the other way doesn't work. Why should we get ripped off? Why should we who work or don't work collect social? Why should we get ripped off? Yeah, there's a few bumps where it takes time, but it's working. What's going on, Frank? Thank you for putting it in there. Yes. How you been, Frank? Good to see you. Thank you for your support. Appreciate you. What a beautiful week. Once again, Trump and his team working, getting the bad men and women off the streets. Doing okay, Frank. Thank you. Doing the best I can. And should we talk about this donation? Do you understand that kids in 20 years from now will be checking money, billions of dollars? You won't need Social Security. It'll be in these stocks. That's how many people trust Donald Trump. Merry Christmas to you. Absolutely Merry Christmas. Should always be Merry Christmas. Remember the previous administration under Biden and Kamala? We shouldn't say Merry Christmas. Who the hell are they saying don't say Merry Christmas? And my Jewish friends, I talk to them. Merry Christmas, Happy Holiday. They want to take Merry Christmas away. You couldn't salute the flag. Kids were getting suspended in school, but they can bring knives in, but they couldn't salute the flag. What? Get my blood pressure down. What's going on in Canada? How cold is it in Canada right now? Minus 15. Whew. I don't think I could smoke a cigar at minus 15. I smoked a cigar in 5 degrees in Wisconsin, but man, minus 15. 33 in Missouri. That's pretty cold too. Minus 6, Chris. Oh, that's cold. That's cold. I don't think I can do a cigar. I've done a cigar 20 minutes when I was in Green Bay. Coming from Vegas in 70 degrees, it felt like it was minus 30 for me. Your blood adapts and all that. That's cold. I'm cold. It's cold here in Vegas right now, about, for me, 49, 50. But minus 6, minus 30. Whew. Kevin, I say give up. Why should we support Ukraine? We have nothing to gain from either one of those countries. We don't, enough's enough spending, in my opinion. I wouldn't spend any more. Trump has done everything he could. He had Putin in Alaska. He tried his best. Trying to get the two leaders together. We shouldn't be in that situation. Should never happen. Minus 18. Forget about it. Whew. Damn right, make America great again. That's what Trump is doing. It's beautiful, isn't it? Isn't it great? By the way, I think Trump, I have this feeling I would give him one more shot, and that's it. Putin. So I would give him one more shot, and then I would say, wash my hands. You just deal with it. Well, once again, at least Trump is trying. Have a good night, Frank. Appreciate you thank you. Thank you for the 63 likes. Appreciate each and every one of you tonight. Thank you. Absolutely. Absolutely, John. Absolutely 100%. See, people really got Trump really wrong. They just don't understand that a guy calls out fake news and drops the F word and says the word garbage, and it is. You know, some of these countries, garbage. We don't need them. We don't need them here. We want them here if they're here to help. If they're here to help. Omar, doesn't matter. What's her name? Ayan Omar, whatever her name, married her brother. It's not about being Republican or Democrat. It's helping America. It's not about you have to agree with Trump on every issue, but helping your city and state do better. She's opposite. She's a real piece of shit. Out of Minnesota. But if you don't understand him by now, that he's for the American way, and the flag, keeping us safe. If you don't understand that by now, you're living under a rock. She is a disgrace. She's a scazziata in Italian, you know? If she wasn't here, she'd be unalive for YouTube. Really, think about it. She's lucky she's here, let alone a district congresswoman, where the hell she is. No, I'm not an angel at all. How was Europe? Europe's beautiful. Love it. But not United States. Love Italy. Germany. The banks are coming. I love it. But to live there, nothing better than here. United States. Love the States. Beautiful. Egypt. Hers beautiful. Hers beautiful. Hear a lot of good stuff about Egypt. I wouldn't want to live there. Haven't been there. Yeah, United States. Put it in the chat. You know, we forget how many beautiful states. You know, even California is beautiful. New York's beautiful. It's just not run right. Think about it. California's beautiful. It's nothing better than the States. It's just run by some nonsense. Some of these, majority, 85, 90% of these far left lunatics running it. You know, it's not California's fault. It's not the people who live there's fault. Well, I guess they vote for it, but I heard it appear. Yeah, I had a client, John, and she said it was absolutely, she was hypnotized by the everything about it. Yeah. So I must, God willing, I like to go there. I haven't been there. Been to Italy, been to Germany, Australia, but not Egypt. California, a red state? It will be. People are going to get fed up. People are fed up now in California. I see a lot of people come on here in this chat. We have a lot on. They're fed up with California. I think Newsom was on his way out, let alone president. You imagine him being president? All right. Are they beggars in Egypt? That's beautiful, what I'm hearing. There's beggars everywhere, you know. All right, I'll read a few more comments here. Appreciate you guys being here on this late night, Friday. Hopefully everybody's doing well, doing the best you can. If you're going through some bad times, be positive. Negative is not the way to be, you know. Always should be positive. Negative only hurts the situation, whether it's politics, illness, going through a divorce, whatever it might be. Always be positive, right? Negative, what's that do? Look what happened to the Democrats, you know. So, John, thank you for the donation. I appreciate that. You didn't have to do that. Thank you. High five, fist bump. Thanksgiving videos made my holiday. Yeah, it really did something to me. You know, we do it every year. This was probably the biggest we did, what John's alluding to. Thank you, John. Helping out the homeless. But we do it every day. We help out the homeless almost every day. And when I don't do it, it's like not taking a shower. But Thanksgiving was special. You know, we made some homemade turkey and helped out anybody who's struggling on the streets. You know, we don't ask them their situation. I don't ask them. I'm not judging any other YouTubers who do that. You know, ask them how I can help. Most of them, you would think they say, "Oh, we want $100." We want $500. All they want is a conversation, a cup of coffee, a sandwich. You know, I maybe had 2 or 3 ever turned it down. You know, maybe 2 to be exact. That's all. But yes, I'm glad it made your. I enjoy doing it. You know, John. So, Chris, thank you. Appreciate that. Very nice of you, Chris. Thank you. Thank you so much for the $5 donation. High five, fist bump to you. Appreciate it. We're able to forward that to the homeless people. Janine, hello, Janine. A little light crowd in here tonight on this late night. Appreciate the donation. Yeah, we're able to forward that and the memberships over to the homeless people. Again, I'm a Trump supporter, but I don't ask anybody out there what they are or who they are. You know, they might be here illegal. If they're struggling, we help them. And that is not the Republican way or the Democrat. It's just, you know, what we should do. You know, American way. It's common sense. You know, if you have it and you can do it, you help them out. You help out your fellow neighbor. And that's not just people that are struggling or on the streets. It's your elderly neighbor. You know, we got to do more of that. Knock on the door. Hey, you need anything? Not just the holidays. You know, if you can do it, help them out. A conversation goes a long way. You know, you see people say all the time, you pass them, how are you? You know, how about how are you? Anything I can do for you? You know, that kind of stuff. It's all common sense. It really is. Just like Trump, you know, he cares. You know, some of his words that come out, I don't mind it. I can see where it rubs people the wrong way on that. I really do. I really do. But at the end of the day, if you're new, it's this or what we had. I'll take this. You know, he's not perfect, but I'll take this administration over any of the other. I'm going to make a strong comment. Under any other president we've had in this lifetime, for exception maybe Clinton and Reagan, you know, but Trump makes them, in my opinion, not here, but here. Trump's like here. I don't understand. I don't get it when people are going to understand that. So, thank you. Thank you. Cherry, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah. Look, I'm not here to persuade anybody. It's, you know, Trump's the president. It can go down. But at the end of the day, it's helping your fellow. And I got to be honest. I have this Trump cap on. Trump needs to do more on that. I've called Trump out. Janine knows. You know, I call myself out. If I could call myself out as a human, I could call out the president that I voted for 3 times. I said he's not perfect. We got to do more to help out struggling Americans. You know? Yeah, sure, I'll beat you to it. There's people who want to be out there. But I don't think anybody, particularly veterans or elderly, should be out in the streets like 87-year-old Sherry. You know, a woman. Watch the shorts. You know, I'm not looking for views, but just go check it out. A lady struggling, lost her husband, lost her dog, gets Social Security, but can't afford the rent escalating here. And I'm not blaming Trump or, well, the previous administration has a lot to do with it, but, you know, a lot of greediness. We could go on and on, but I won't. We got to get together as a nation and do better and build more nonprofits. We got to do more. You know, we can't help out all, but we can try. And that's what we do on here when we can. All right. Thomas, I disagree. Do you agree with how your ancestors were perceived here when they immigrated here? Do I agree? I mean, my father and my grandparents on both sides came here from Italy, and they had to come through a process. I was younger, and I remember them saying, not only they had to come here, they had to speak English. So I believe you come here through the process, fly, don't cheat the system, come here legally, and I believe you don't even have to speak perfect English, you know, and then do well. And Trump has said that, you know, come here, and I said this multiple times, have a little house in the prairie, you know, do well. That's common sense, you know. There's no right for these other countries to, and you can't blame them. You blame the presidency that we had And by the way, for those who think they care, that Biden and all this committee and AutoPen, do you think they really cared about these people coming over from Venezuela, Mexico, and other parts of the country, China, Afghanistan? Forget about it. They didn't care. All they care about them coming over, getting their green cards, voting and legal voting and all that stuff. That's all they care, ladies and gentlemen. They never cared about them. You hear CNN, I have friends, well, these poor women and all that. Yeah, they're good people, but it's against the law to come here. But they didn't care. That administration didn't care. All they cared about is one thing: their pocketbook, their purse. That's it. That's all they cared about was them. That's all Nancy Pelosi ever cared about. She made that clear during the government shutdown 42 days, but she made it clear how we have a short memory with the pandemic. She fought Trump, sending out stimulus checks and implementing unemployment and all this stuff that we never had. You want to shut down? We got to help struggling Americans, right? Nancy Pelosi fought Donald Trump each and every day, not to send the amount that he sent, whatever it was, 1,200, and I know some people didn't get it. A whole nother problem there we won't get into. Read your comment, John. Thank you for your comments, guys. Whether you agree or disagree, that's not what this is about. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion, but I can tell you this. The pipe bomb suspect confessed. He was captured by a great team leading Kash Patel, Pam Bondi, Dan Bongino, Judge Jeanine. She's a badass. I like her a lot. And the previous administration had 4 or 5 years to capture this guy, and basically I feel they knew who he was. They say they don't. So either they're stupid or they're in on it. Either way, it's bad. They have to go. And they did go. And look, it took them not even a year to capture this man, who they mistaked him as a Caucasian. Think about it. That's how hypnotized they are. He was more than brain dead, my friend. He was in Italian, scazziato. It's just a mess. Even when even back in 1972, I believe it was, when he never really knew what the hell he was doing. It just, and I don't wish this on it. Ladies and gentlemen, Biden we all know it. I mean, I said this multiple times if you're new to the channel. He had stage, I don't wish it. I went through it. I'm going through it with my mother-in-law. I went through it with my grandfathers. He had dementia. I mean, they say they didn't see it. Come on. They seen it. All right. Absolutely, the Italians. And Irish, too, I'll add. And I'm Italian, yes. Thank you for that comment. Absolutely. Yeah, a lot of people, there's a movie out there. It's an older movie about Italians. Watch the movie Green Book. I think it's called Green Book. Green Day or Green Book. I think it's called Green Book. Great movie about Italians being discriminated. You're 75 years young. I see this all the time. Mr. Tenbo. Yeah, I mean, at one time, my kids can't believe this, but Italians were looked down to. The Green Book. I think it was the Green Book. Don't want to spoil it, but watch it. It seemed like 70s, even early 80s, the Italians were looked, down to, and so. And this whole thing about black and white, let's get something straight. It's not about blacks do this or whites. We've seen all types of people: Italian, Luigi Mangione, gays, transgenders, successful white people. It's not about that. It's about getting the facts out. And Jake Tapper, whatever the hell his name is at CNN, to mistake him, he didn't mistake him. He's hypnotized on saying Caucasian. Looks at the suburbs, doesn't look at the face. How do you describe somebody? Just like the whole thing with what the police went through with the administration. You couldn't say the word black. You couldn't say what. You couldn't say, I had to call a Caucasian. No, white, Hispanic. Again, your next will be white Putin. Give me a break. It's white, black. Latino, whatever. You should be able to describe. See, this country was so upside down. So upside down. Oh, the Sicilian, yeah, absolutely. My grandma would tell me so many stories in the 70s, 60s, even early 70s, actually even 80s with the Sicilians and Italians. We are Charlie Kirk. We will carry the flame. May he rest in peace. One of a kind. One of a kind. I'm a second generation American. Get out of Ireland. I still enslaved. God bless you. Read some comments here. A lot of people say Jeffrey Epstein. Do I look like Jeffrey Epstein? What a piece of shit, that guy. And Ghislaine Maxwell. And Diddy. Anybody who does that to kids. I was going to say something, but I won't. Is that Jeffrey? He's still alive. Some people think he's still alive. Anybody in the chat think he's still alive, Epstein? Yes or no? Y or N? Think Jeffrey Epstein's still alive? Could he be alive somewhere? The book flipper. Kind of funny. Kind of funny. You don't think he I can't say it. You can write it on here, but I can't say it for YouTube. But yeah, I mean, I talk to people that are in that prison, and depends who you talk to. Some say yes, some say no. Either way, I don't think he's I think he's unalive. I think. We'll never know. Yeah. Now people think Elvis is still alive. I heard a guy the other day say John F. Kennedy's alive. So, you know, depends what you drink and smoke. I don't know. I think what you just put on there, the book flipper. I love that name. I think so. I think you're right. I heard that just yesterday. That Kennedy's like 109 years old. He's living in a ranch or somewhere. Come on. We all know what happened to John F. Kennedy, right? The Italians got him in. They elected him. They had a big part of that back then, the mob. Not the Italians, the mob. And they took him out. That's it. And that's that. Next conversation. It's that. It's over. You know, they had a lot to do with him getting elected. And then he turned on them. He forgot who got him elected. They were a big part, the mob at the time, to get him elected. And then he screwed up. And that's that. Hold on, I gotta let my dog out. Come on, Max. Come on, boy. Gotta take a Bashad? I'll let the dog out. Dog's gotta pee. You gotta go, you gotta go. You cold? Gotta charge up. My phone's gonna die. Gotta charge up, Janine. Hey, thank you, moderators who are on here tonight. Appreciate you guys. Thank you all. If you're new and you enjoy the content, what's wrong, boy? Only if you enjoy, like, and subscribe. Appreciate you guys. And once again, we help out the homeless on this channel when we can. So thank you for being here. Margie Taylor Greene, piece of shit. My opinion. You ask, I tell. My opinion. Man. It's cold in Vegas. It's cold here. Only half, Gina? You know what I hate is when a dog has to go to the bathroom at 2 in the morning. He scratches on my door. Fifth generation American on my dad's side. I was going to ask. Nice. Nice. He's the best. 89. Just lost mine. God bless, Gina. Just lost mine at 79. God bless. Still kicking. That's good. Yeah, I just lost my mom a month ago. That's good. Does she still do the 7 fish Christmas Eve? Christmas Eve for the Italians is bigger than Christmas. It's something special, you know, having the fish and all that. Yeah, it's okay, Gina. You know, she would say, and she was a Democrat, but she would say, keep doing your news. Keep doing what you enjoy. And we keep going. Keep doing what you enjoy. That's for everybody. Got to keep going, you know. We all got to go. You got to keep on going. That's in my belief. What are you going to do? Stop? You got to keep on going. Never forget them. Keep the memories and keep going as long as you can. It's all you can do in life, you know, and not think negative. Oh, I think negative. Like, get rid of it. Negative's no good. Comes in you, let it go. Out. Positive. Only control what we can control. You know, that's all we can do is control what we can control and living in the moment. Don't live next week. Don't live in the past. Live in the moment. Prepare for the future, but live in the moment. Negative's no good. Can't have it. You know, as soon as it comes across your mind, goodbye. Positive. It's going to be better. It's going to, you know. All right. Read a couple more comments here. Thank you for the 68 likes. Thank you for those donations. Thank you for all the memberships. Once again, if you're new to the channel, we normally have a hell of a lot on, but hey, this is kind of fun tonight to read more messages, and so it's nice. Kind of funny there, Wayne. You tell me. You mention it. You tell me. Funny. Got to give you that. Kind of funny. Absolutely. Well said. Well said. In the moment. Yep. Well, I think this cigar is about finished, but I'll stay for a little bit. I'll stay for a little longer. Be free to text, or excuse me, text. Make sure, be free to chat among each other. All right. Yeah, we normally have a lot in here, but it's Friday. People Christmas shopping, who the hell knows? Speaking of Christmas shopping, I said this on my last live stream. I'm going to say it again. You got to wonder where malls are going to be in the next 5 years, because we're shutting down malls here in Vegas, like 2 or 3 left. So, Pelon, how are you? I'm back. Thanks for being back, my friend. Good to see you again. Thank you. And thank you earlier. I did hear about it, Space movie 1992. I did. Live in a moment. Vegas is going as well. Yeah, I mean, gambling right now is on its last leg, I think. It might come back. Thank you, Pale. I appreciate the gift. Thank you. I salute. Water. Water tonight. And Diet Coke. All right. Let's see what we got over here. Wow. 70 likes tonight. Appreciate you guys. Yeah, I was talking about the malls, right? You know, you got to wonder, you know, I enjoy supporting the small mom and pops for these big leases in the mall and listen to Christmas music. You got to wonder in the next couple years, are we going too far? Everything's online. It's so easy to go online, but it's kind of sad at the same time. You go in there and the malls and Christmas music, Santa Claus, and bumping into people and getting your gifts wrapped, and it might be a thing of the past. It's crazy, you know. It really is where we're heading. All right. Trump looks bad. I don't think Trump looks bad. I think he needs to lose a couple pounds, but he just had his all his heart his report just came back fine. He had his EKG and ultrasound, his stress test. What's going on in South Dakota? Beautiful, cold South Dakota. What's going on in South Dakota? But I don't think Trump looks, aside from losing a few pounds, he's got energy. So you can't compare him to Biden in his look or anything else, in my opinion. Not even close. It was an MRI and a cast, or a highlight, basically. They highlight the heart. His annual checkup, just to make sure everything was good, and it all came back fine. There's nothing wrong with Donald Trump at the moment. Could things change? Could change for any of us, But again, positive. He looks fine, and except for taking off a few pounds, he still golf, and he gets criticized for that too. John, playing golf. I think every president, including Democrat, all of them, should be able to enjoy what they golf or, well, he's always playing chess, right? Or do whatever they want to do. They need that. Yes, we need it, and the president needs it. So yeah, he looks okay to me. All right, enough with that. He's very alert. He's very alert, David. The man is alert, whether you support him or not. He's very focused, and he is always he's always out there explaining what he could explain. We don't hear everything on any president. They only could tell us, but he's always answering the media, All right. Yeah, really, Ginny. I mean, this man, it's not even worth wasting a breath on Biden, But wish him well with his health. Wish him well going forward. All right, we got here. Yeah, there's just a lot of people out there, and I'm not here to persuade you to like Trump, but just always look. Trump can cure any disease at any time. Give out 5,000, 10,000, 2,000, which I think we're going to get, or some people are going to get, and people would still hate him. It's just the way it is. The way it is. Somebody says, I love our president. Absolutely. They're always going to, no matter what, even in a situation like the pipe bomb, you would think this would be a perfect time for the Democrats to say, all right, we don't like you, but you know what? Good job. Good job. Keeping our states, the capital safe. But no, they don't. Not one. You should love your president. Absolutely. He's a leader. And not one Democrat has, what's going on in France? God bless. Has come out that I've heard yet. Maybe I haven't heard them say, hey, they applaud him for getting a pipe bomber, which our topic is tonight. Not one. So, not even one. And God bless you, Palin, and your family. But he confessed, this 30-year-old piece of shit. That's what we call these people when they do these crimes, like putting pipe bombs in the headquarters of the Democrat and Republican facilities. These people who act like this, whether it's Luigi Mangione, Italian, or you're a Caucasian, or a transgender, or gay, or African American, or Hispanic, so on and so forth, who do these crimes are creeps, They didn't have to do it, but they did it. And in my opinion, this guy did it because of, if you're just coming in late, once again, the family owned this immigration bail bond, and he didn't like Trump. And they're going to say, oh, he was a Trump supporter. We all know he wasn't a Trump supporter. He was supporting to take people out. And that's that. And thank God it did. You know, it could have been worse. And he's confessed. And they'll investigate his family. As of now, family's not involved, but they'll check into it. You know, they're not done. They'll see if there's anybody else behind it. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. But they did their job. Let's not miss the point. They, Trump. And, you know, I think this helps Pam Bondi out because she was on her last leg. You know, she credits Bongino, but, you know, but they were all involved. Anybody from Judge Janine to Bongino to Kash Patel, they've been working on this. So, you know, props to them on this. Props on Trump and administration. Because the previous administration, they had all the clues out there. There was nothing new, ladies and gentlemen. We're talking about the pipe bomber. He confessed. There was nothing new. No tips. They had the sneakers. They had all the same stuff to work on this cold case. They had week after week, month after month, year after year, and came up empty. So they're either in on it, sleeping, unorganized. Either way, they got to go. And they did go. And I believe they should take a look, and some of these people should be prosecuted. Again, this wasn't robbing a 7-Eleven. Don't go out and rob a 7-Eleven, you know. But this was serious crime. And they should be held responsible. Some of them should be held responsible. When I say some, on the radical left and that administration, the FBI. Did I buy Trump coin? Yes. My wife did. I didn't. My wife actually did. All right. Absolutely, Charles. Silver. Get into silver. Did I buy Trump shoes? No. I got Italy shoes. Italy. Trump Bible. Absolutely. It's funny. You're funny, David. Yeah. That Trump steak sound real good. Don't they? Nice New York barbecue on charcoal. Flip it a few times. Trump steak. Coming soon to your house. At a low price of $8.99. Don't that sound good? Somebody said Trump steak. Medium well. A glass of wine. Red and white. All right. Yeah, would that be good? Trump steak? Patent that. That's a good one. Trump steak. Ribeye, New York, filet mignon. What do you want? We got it all over here. Clone beef. Funny. Kind of funny. Well, you like yours, Charles? Well done? Whatever you enjoy. Don't matter. I like it well done once in a while. I don't like it burnt. Well done's okay. All right, let's continue. I'm going to stay with the Trump steaks. And once again, a big week here. I'm proud. I am proud to be an American. I'm proud to support Donald Trump when we take these bad guys and women off the streets. $50 per bottle. That's a little high, no? $50. Crazy. All right. Sonic Blast. Absolutely, Pela. Absolutely. Golden Steer, I have not. Hey, Chris, it's so funny. It's like you were in my conversation yesterday. I lived here in Vegas, Golden Steer. I've never been there. Been to a lot of good steakhouses here, demonic. Anyhow, but I got to go. It's expensive though, but they say it's the best of the best, at least here in Vegas. Golden Steer. Golden Steer, yeah. Thank you, Janine. Thank you. Like my steak cooked raw. Yeah, I was at a barbecue not too long ago, and there was a lady eating it raw. Not my deal, but whatever. That sounds damn good. Rib roast. You know, my wife likes that, John, for Christmas. That's what she does. She likes the roast, the rib roast. Me, I could eat Italian food every day. I'm only kidding. I like it too. Yeah, Janine, I know. What? I'm glad you brought that up. What a racketeer that is in the welfare. I think it's what, 250 million or a million, right? On my notes. 250 million. What a racketeer that's going on in Minnesota. They all should be arrested. Welfare fraud, you know. That money there is supposed to be helping out people. All bunch of fraud there. With Omar. Ion Omar. Whatever her name is. Who married her brother to get here, to come to America. Like Trump says, she's lucky she's with us. In better words, for YouTube. All right. Mangiare go to goals, John. Absolutely. Mangiare go to goals. That means eat and eat everything, just in case YouTube. All right. When's Trump ending the IRS? Tomorrow. Tomorrow, around midnight. Soon. Already. Yeah. Well, we got a good group in here tonight. Good group. Little late night chat. Appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you. Appreciate that, Palon. Thank you. God bless. Thank you so much. You don't have to do that. Sit back and enjoy yourself. Thank you. Pass that forward to our homeless. Thank you. Be out there again fighting for homeless each and every day. If you're new to the channel, it's what we do on here. Almost every day. Help out the less fortunate. He's a piece of shit, Tim Walsh. He's imagine him if he would have been president or vice. Oh my God, he's corrupted. The mayor's corrupted. Omar's corrupted. The chief of police is corrupted. If you live in Minnesota, you got to be another place, very beautiful, cold, beautiful. Ruining. They just ruin these states and cities. You know? It's a shame. It really is. All joking aside, it really is a shame. What's happening in Minneapolis? It's a shame. All that fraud. Yeah, that's what they tell me, Monster. I think he should be in prison. Absolutely. I agree. I 100%. He's a piece of shit. Did I say billion? I apologize. It was million. But whatever. You get it. What the hell are you talking about China? You're talking out of your ass. All right. I'll read a few more comments here. Yeah, Walsh. Oh, my God. What a Scazziata he is in Italian. He's a piece of shit in so many ways. You know? And again, I said this multiple times. That chief of police, whatever the hell he is, he should take his badge and take it off. It's a disgrace. You put your politics aside when you're dealing with this stuff. What's happening over there? May he rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. That's my opinion on him. Oh, do I agree with him? Some, but it doesn't matter. He's a man who should be alive. All right, Omar should marry Walsh. And then deport him to... That's a good comment. That's a great comment. true, though. It's true. A woman, who doesn't, it's one thing, again, if she disagrees on Trump on a lot of his policies, but to put down the United States, you're fortunate you live here. I don't know who the hell voted her in as a district congresswoman, whatever the hell. AOC, another disgrace, another Scotziad, and you put down, Trump's right about that. It's garbage. I agree. There's nothing there. Garbage. All right. Come here and put down the United States? Come on. Come on. You don't do that. You could be a Democrat. You could be against Trump, but you don't put down the flag of the United States of America. I don't know. Somebody voted her in. I don't know what the hell they were drinking that Kool-Aid. Same thing with Madani. Great comment. Trump doesn't care who he upsets. He's a man. He tells it as it is. It might not be what everybody wants to hear, the language you want to hear. When I say language, his presentation. But again, in my opinion, he's what you see, what you get. He's not perfect. But I'd rather trust somebody like him, like President Trump, than any other president at this time. And he's right on almost everything he says. We're just not used to it. People are just not used to it. But he cares. That's the thing a lot of people don't understand. He cares about, if he cared about just billionaires, then he would kiss Elon Musk. Come back, we need you. Take a walk, Elon, Take a walk. So, all he cares about the billionaires. No, he cares about all of us. That's a fact. Think about that for 1 minute. 5 seconds. All right. He cares about hardworking Americans. Actually, he cares about, he's doing good for the whole world. When we do good here, everybody does good. And that's what he's been doing. If you don't see that, you're living under a rock or something. He's making every common sense in the whole world exchange money and do well. And nobody take advantage of us. Nobody. Palin, right? Thank you. Nobody rip us off. We are number one. Not China. Certainly not Venezuela. We're number one. If you come here legally and do well, then that's that. And that's that. Trump's the president. Get over it. And we're going to continue to win. When I say we, the American way. For a long time. Viva USA. Absolutely. High five, fist bump. We will continue to win. Not about Republicans. Not about MAGA, conservative, independents, or Democrats. It is winning and bringing our nation back. Actually, back. Better now than ever. But bringing it back to common sense. Freedom of speech. Merry Christmas. Closing borders. Ending wars. Negotiator. And much, much more. Godfather. Absolutely, he's the Godfather. No problem with that. All right. Chris says, Trump is not my president. Excuse me. Our country goes belly up when Democrats take power. Absolutely. I mean, Clinton, we had money. I say this if you're new. I actually voted for Clinton. I thought he did a decent job. Money was being exchanged. But, yeah, majority, particularly what we have right now, It's not even about a moderate Democrat that work on issues, that I'll disagree and some will agree. It's not about that. It's a whole nother approach if you're coming in late. You know, they're coming about shutting down, controlling us when to go grocery shopping, when to go to the doctors, free stuff. We know it doesn't work. Long term, it will cripple us. It'll put us all bankrupt. You know that. I know that. It just doesn't work. It sounds great, but to understand it, I mean, look at Canada. There's a friend of mine who lives in Canada who's still waiting to get a hip replacement or 2 hip replacements. And he might wait another year. So I do agree we got to work on a better healthcare and long term. That I agree. But I don't agree on, each and every one should go free. It should only be temporary unless you're disabled, right? Or you're 65 and you're getting a certain amount, then we need to help out with some assistance. That's what Medicaid, SNAP benefits should be about. All right, let's continue. Johnny Rotten, yeah. No, you're not. You're right. You're not high. You're not high. You're correct. Israel's taking. I'm not laughing at that Israel comment. I'm laughing at Johnny. Israel's taking all our money, taking all the money. No, they're not. That's not true. Yeah. First I'm Epstein, then I'm this, then I'm that. Absolutely. What's going on in Arizona, Jim? Arizona. Good to see new subscribers. Shout out to the moderators on here tonight. Thank you, Janine, Mike. Shout out to all my loyal subscribers. Yeah, I mean, Ed, it will change. It might be a long time. But again, if you're just coming in, you got to have competition. You should have two. You got to have two parties. Well, you got to do anything. We can go Trump all the time, right? I'm only kidding. But I think for me, it'll take a while before that Democrat will get back to the quote unquote Clinton kind of, years where they have thoughts and write up something like healthcare and, debate and compromise. And, but I don't see it happening right now or even in the near future. And that's why, for me, they have no chance on midterms and probably only a 4%, 8% chance to win the presidency unless they change their demeanor and don't fight on Trump, disagree on Trump, how you can make things better. Until that comes, you won't see a change. If you're a Democrat, you have no, like, what's his name? Stephen A. Smith says, until that time comes, I don't think you're going to see it. It's just, it's a whole nother direction. It probably will change. It has to. I know my conservative friends are saying, no, it doesn't, but it has to change. But right now, I don't see it. And most people, when they go to vote, they worry about their pocketbook, their wallets, and keeping safe. Even those who don't vote Republican will vote because they know it's common sense. And that's that. Gas is a lot cheaper in most states. And the states that's high, it's not Trump's fault, like California. That's Gavin Newsom. There's refineries. That's a whole other story, another life on Gavin Newsom. 309. Yeah, Vegas is about 379. Or no. Yeah. Arnold, how are you? Thanks for saying hi. Hey, thank you everyone for the 76 likes. Thank you so much for all the memberships that are on here. Appreciate you guys coming in and out. I think he will, Janine. I do. The question was J.D. Vance. Yeah, I think he will run. $459, $289 in North Carolina. I think Costco has 3 in Vegas, $389. Yep. His staff is amazing. It really is, And if you didn't support or you had doubts about Pam Bondi, I think she came back with this pipe bomber. You got to give her some credit on that, you know. And I'm not a big fan of her, but, you know, some would say, well, she didn't have a lot to do with it. I think she did. I think she did. Let's see what we got here. Kamala, 28. Nah, she's too busy, you know, drinking wine, which God bless her. I like wine. I think she's finished, Kamala, for politics anyhow. I wish her well in her life, but she's finished. You know. Well, thank you for your comment. I think Kamala let her party down. She let the whole nation down. She smiled, you know, I'll give her that, but she was repeating what Trump did. And I think that's what hurt her. When no tax on tips, she had nothing to say. Then she agreed. Yeah, she's Kamala's in trouble. I don't know. Kamala's terrible. Excuse me. Yeah, I don't think she should be in office. Now, there's reports when she was the vice president, even Biden didn't like her when his mind was half there. She couldn't get along with people. She was worried about her nails, and she just wasn't. I'm sure she's a good person, but for politics, no. Yeah, she has no 0% chance. I think AOC has a better chance than her. That's pretty bad, right? Once you show you don't care and you don't have any thoughts and you're giggling, it's okay to smile and giggle, but all the time, it shows Americans on both sides that we can't go that way. And that's what happened. That's why she got knocked out in the first round. First round knockout. You know, knockout. Not TKO, knocked out. Landslide. Yeah, Kamala might be good on maybe some things out there, but not politics. I don't know if she can run a Starbucks or McDonald's. I don't know. Maybe. All right. That's funny, Chris. Yeah. Don't get me going with that. Yeah, she has a 0% chance. Gavin Newsom, 2% chance. None of them have a chance. Let's get that straight. Right now, because I hate to repeat what I said, they don't care about America. And Trump and Clinton in 28. As far as Clinton goes, your second part, 0% chance. And Trump has pretty much made it clear that he's going to hand the torch to whoever, you know, Marco Rubio, J.D. Vance, Pete Hegseth, I don't know, somebody else. I think but Hillary, hey, have you seen Hillary lately? Oh man, we all age. Let's get that straight. But she just looks worn out, and I don't think she's. I don't think we want to hear the Clinton name, Bush name, you know. All right. Yeah, absolutely. So well said, Janine, our moderator. Absolutely. He's made it clear he doesn't care about anybody, the homeless or anybody there, you know. He didn't care about, and he's being investigated with those fires, you know. We'll talk about that on another live as it's getting late. He's being investigated. Not that he sparked it, but he did nothing to help. And he could have prevented it. He lied. Lots of lies with that. We'll get into that in another live. That's kind of funny. Trump and Maxwell 28. Kind of funny. I have seen Bill Clinton in a dress. He looked pretty good, huh? All right. Janine, yeah. Hey, once again, thank you so much, guys. Appreciate it. I'm going to sign off here in about 2 minutes. Give you guys a chance to say goodnight to each and every one of you. Appreciate it. God bless you and your family. God bless the Democrats, Republicans, and Donald Trump. Certainly, there's a big story this week with the pipe bomb suspect. I think it was perfect. I think, once again, if there was any hope for the Democrats to redeem themselves, they could at least, well, first of all, they could have done the same thing that Pam Bondi and the rest of them, Cash Patel, did. Well, second of all, if they had any chance to redeem the presidency or anything, in my opinion, they could applaud. They didn't have to applaud Trump. Yeah, they should applaud Trump and say, hey, you got another bad guy off who attacked the Republican and Democrat headquarters. And we thank you. We didn't do it, but you did. And they didn't do it, because they're either in on it or stupid. And that's that. So, Mindspeak, thank you so much for the $10 donation. Between Obama and Trump, who took over bad economy. Between Obama and Trump, who took over the bad economy? Oh, Trump. See, to answer your question, Trump. But to follow up, Obama he didn't do much to help the economy. Actually, listen, in my opinion, just my opinion, he started the fire with all this. He was a good speaker. He did good on the internet at the time. He did good on the he was a good talker, a salesperson. I do give him credit on trying to get a better health care. Stay with me, guys. But it was a disaster, right? Yeah, I mean, he was just not a good president. Not at all. And I still believe that he was the second worst president, by far. But to answer your question, I Trump. I mean, this administration run by this committee, by far, ever was the worst, upside down, unorganized, Alzheimer's, bad, really bad, in so many ways. It was embarrassing. Other nations were looking at us. And just thank God that Trump won. Thank you, Mines. Appreciate the other your second donation. With Bush left a bad economy, and he did, no question. It was I voted for him. What you see, what you get. Not a good president, not a good speaker. But he's not. But to answer, in my opinion, it was a worse economy under Biden. But if you disagree, Bush would go down. No question, the Biden committee's the worst. And then you have to say Obama over Jimmy Carter. I said this multiple times for those who are new. Jimmy Carter was the worst before all this. I don't think he was the worst. I think Obama is second worst. Jimmy Carter was just, I don't think he was corrupted, in my opinion. Some would say he was. I think he was just stupid, But to answer you, it wasn't a good economy with Bush. No. But you asked me what was worse. Biden. Biden was worse than Bush, And Dick Cheney was running Bush was like, let's be honest, conservatives and MAGA, and I voted for him. Dick Cheney was running our country, Bush was another one from my sources. I know people work very close to him, was boozing it up as well, So, but I still think you have a committee. We didn't, at least Bush, was, I don't think he was corrupted. He just didn't do the right, but the economy wise, I think back, I'm trying to think where I was. I was doing better. So it's my opinion. Some will disagree. So you guys can debate on that. Thank you. Appreciate it, Mindspeak. Yeah. I mean, it's debatable. I will say that. We can ask the chat before we go. What was the worst economy? The question was, who inherited a worse economy? Trump with the administration and committee with Biden, or Jimmy Carter, or Barack Obama, a bad economy with Bush, which was bad. So, I mean, what's your thoughts? I'm giving you my thoughts. All right. Let's see. I'm reading some comments. I used to not to vote. That's your opinion. Thank you for your comment. Gen X here. My lifetime Biden. Obama days are numbered. Yeah. Anyhow, that there is debatable. I mean, it's a great question. It really is. Not you gave the donation, thank you, but it is a great question. It's something to think about. It really is. So, both were messed up. Let's just say this. Let's hope that we don't have either one of those economies again. You know, it's nothing's ever going to be perfect, you know what I mean? But let's hope we don't experience that. Let's hope we don't experience another shutdown or another Bush or another Barack Obama or, Biden. Let's certainly hope that we don't have a president that's not fit for president. You know what I mean? And that both sides can work together to make things and use your thoughts to make things better, starting from keeping borders closed and a better health care and a more reliable health care, things like that. That's what they should be doing, you know? All right, a few more comments, guys. We're going to sign off here real quick. Democrats complain about the economy. They destroyed it. Yeah. I mean, I can't disagree, you know. And Chuck Schumer makes like the Republicans with this whole tax credits whereby they eliminated the tax credit. They expired with the Democrats did that. And they had 42 days. They could have kept it Obamacare. It's not the name, but it wasn't working. I had it. It wasn't working. And on the other side, the Republicans had time too. Let's be honest. I've said this multiple times, MAGA. They had times to work 42 days. They had time to. I talked about this today with friends, and Republicans and Democrats, moderate, and all of us decided they had time to make a better healthcare. We got to do that, you know. But it's not that hard, you know. They talked about a savings account. There's no reason that I have to pay for a pap smear, and I'm a male, or a woman to pay for a prostate. They got to work on a savings and a better healthcare, both sides. But again, the Democrats destroyed the healthcare. They destroyed the last 4 years with Biden. They had no ideas. I can't name one thing that they tried to accomplish that was fair. Not one, you know. So, all right, guys, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the donation. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you, Janine, Mike, Gammon, if you're still here. Appreciate guys on this late night. There's normally a lot of people, and this was nice tonight to try to read some more comments when I can. Appreciate each and every one of you. We don't have to agree. What we need to do is work on better for America. And again, Trump's not perfect. Let's get that straight. But for me, I'll say one last time, it's a hell of a lot better than what we had. Thank you so much. Have a great weekend. Check the notifications. Subscribe if you haven't, if you enjoyed. Show some love to the next YouTube vertical live or whatever live there is. We appreciate you guys. I'm signing off. Be safe. Don't rush. A lot of nutsos out there driving because of the holidays and Christmas. Take your time. Don't cut anybody off. If they cut you off, goodbye. Stay calm. See you guys. I'm out. God bless. Thank you. Thank you. Have a good night. Chris, thank you. Thank you for the membership, Chris Green. Thank you. Thank you all. And even the trolls. God bless. Cold. Cold here.